Good morning. I'm Susie Hatterson here from Applied Intelligence Live in Austin. I'm the commercial editor of IoT World Today, and I'm delighted to be joined by Ilan Gluck, who is Director of Industrial IoT at Cox2M. Welcome to the show.
Great to be here. Thank you for having us. We're excited.
So can you tell me a little bit about your company and what you're hoping to achieve here at this event?
Yeah, so as you mentioned, I'm the general manager of our industrial IoT group within Cox2M. Cox2M is part of a much larger enterprise called Cox Enterprises that has really three main verticals that we're focused on: mobility, sustainability, and connectivity. So our group falls within that connectivity bucket. We're under an organization called Cox Communications. It's a very large cable an internet provider here in the U.S. And over time, we are a 125-year-old company, and Cox has always been about connecting people to information, connecting people to people through media outlets. So we started out as a newspaper company. Over time, we got into radio, and then we got into internet and cable. And now we're taking the next foray into enabling communication, not only between people and information, but now machine to machine and machine to people. So Cox2M was born out of the desire to increase connections between people and things. So we're here to learn more about the relationship between IoT and AI. We're very focused on deploying IoT at scale for our commercial customers. And of course, AI is critical to, layer on top of the IoT so we can start to help our customers really drive value within their organization. So we're excited to meet potential customers here, but also talk to partners that are really pushing the boundaries of both IoT capabilities and AI.
Well, we have so many companies here for the next 2 days that I'm sure you guys will all learn a lot.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I know you've been largely working in the connectivity and automotive space. Can you tell us a little bit about this move into commercial IoT? Yeah,
sure. So, as I mentioned, we're always focused on connections between people and between things. And as we started to have more conversations with our customers where we were providing connectivity solutions, we started to hear from them that they were wanting more and more out of connectivity within their environment. So rather than coming to us and saying, we want Wi-Fi for our factory, or we want Wi-Fi for our hospital, they were saying things like, we want to be able to increase we want to be able to increase safety for our patients. We want to be able to drive more throughput in our factory. We want to be able to, improve the experience of people that visit our parks. And we want connectivity that enables that enhanced experience. And so we took a step back and we said, as we're partnering with our customers on their digitization journey, we need to think a little bit more holistically around the solutions that we're providing our customers and think about not only the connectivity, but then what use cases does that connectivity empower and enable. So that's when we started to think of the concept of the connected environment, which is really the nervous system of a customer site, of a physical environment. And we at Cox, we started thinking about really four main pillars that fit within that environment. You have the connectivity piece, which is always what we've done, our bread and butter. The compute piece, which, cloud computing, edge compute. And then you have the IoT piece, which is around extracting data from the physical world. And then the experience piece. How do individuals actually interact with that data? So our foray into the IoT space and edge compute and private networks and the platform space really was born out of conversations we had with our customers where they came to us and were just asking more of the solutions we're providing. So that's really how it started. We started by building a solution for one of our sister companies And from that, we started dipping our toes into new industries, new solutions, and we've just kind of grown from there.
And what are you seeing in terms of how IoT is really transforming industries, like healthcare, automotive, manufacturing? Mm-hmm. What are the key trends that you think you're seeing?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is now industries are starting to recognize that in order to generate value from IoT, you have to have very targeted deployments that really focus on a specific use case and a specific pain point. And we're now at the point where customers are really starting to generate value from these deployments. So a couple of examples in the automotive space, for example, adding being able to extract asset health around each automobile, whether it's in an auction or a car dealership, really removes friction from the car buying process. In the healthcare space, adding different sensors to the hospital, whether it be asset tracking, temperature sensing, environment sensors, really improve patient outcomes at hospitals. In the manufacturing space, which is where my group focuses on, specifically enabling the more seamless movement of goods and components to improve throughput via asset tracking. So these are all very targeted use cases for IoT. And I think the biggest trend, again, is our customers are starting to recognize, okay, if I can identify the right pain point and use case and deploy a tailored solution to that use case, I can really start generating value and achieve the ROI that I need to make the investment.
So what do you think technology executives need to be looking at in terms of, we're all trying to create this balance between innovation, efficiency, costs. Where do you think people need to be looking and balancing those factors?
Yeah, I think any technology investment has to have a very clear ROI. And you have to be very clear before deployment what the KPIs are that you're going to measure and how you're going to measure them so you can quantify impact. Again, going back to the world in which we operate, kind of the industrial environment, manufacturing environment, efficiency is everything. You have to be able to prove that a new technology will have an ROI if you expect it to scale throughout your location or to multiple locations. So the way to achieve that is, and I know I keep harping on this, but the way to achieve that is to start with the pain point. Sit down with your operational teams and understand where are the areas of friction within the operation that are stopping you from improving your throughput or hitting your targets. Start from the problem. Ask why 5 times, and then invest in solutions that target that specific pain point. And then when you do make a decision on a technology that you're going to invest in, sit down with a solution provider, and we do this with all of our customers at GearTrack, which is our industrial asset tracking solution, and align on what are the KPIs? How do we know this is going to be successful? How are you going to measure that? When are you going to report to me whether it's been successful or not? And make your solution provider have some skin in the game of that deployment being successful. And I think IoT world in general needs more of that. We need to be held accountable to driving impact for our customers, or we're not going to scale this technology in the way that we think we should for the last 10 years, 15 years that IoT has really been around.
And what do you see as next for Cox2M and IoT, say, the next 5 years?
Yeah, I think a few very broad areas that we're focused on, really that are all around scale. How do we achieve scale for IoT in the marketplace? So the first thing is just affordability. How do we drive down the cost of sensors so you can go to a customer and deploy 1 million, 2 million sensors in a way that actually achieves the ROI they're looking for, getting back to the ROI. So one thing I think is affordability. Second thing is ease of deployment. So, there's no reason that commercial technology shouldn't be as simple to deploy as consumer technology. Okay, we get an iPhone in the mail or we buy it from the store, we open it up, it walks us through how to turn it on, and it works. That's our, that's what we're aiming for industrial technology and commercial technology. So everything around removing friction from deployment, removing friction from integrations is a big focus for us. And then the third area is really moving toward more of an embedded IoT model. So working with manufacturers of heavy equipment, for example, or manufacturers of hospital equipment, to say, rather than having an aftermarket device or sensor on that asset, let's embed that technology into the asset so it's always there. And you have to be able to do that affordably in order for that to make sense. So I'd say those are really the three main focus areas for us as we move into the kind of next generation of our business.
Great. Well, good luck with it all. Thank you for joining us at Applied Intelligence Live. And
thank you so much.
Really hope you have a great time at the show.
You as well. Thank you.